Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes. AR, I don't, I think it just, I think I turned on the mic right as someone was sneezing or
Yeah,
coughing
I
or
was
something.
I was trying to clear my throat before I test my mic, which I guess proves that it's working.
I believe the exact instant when I hit the unmute button on you guys is when that came up.
Awesome.
Dev,
Load
what?
test this sucker.
Dev, why don't you say a few words before anyone comments?
Uh, I spent like an hour while painting outside, buying back and forth at my neighbor's goats, and it was glorious.
I carried a 65-inch TV today.
Were there stairs
Yours or
involved?
someone else's?
Someone else's. Well,
Okay, I was gonna
like I said
say,
last time, making sure my dad was getting a nice
Are
big TV. It showed up
oh, okay.
days late. The store has no real explanation, but hey, partial refund at least.
like,
I
where's my
mean,
shit?
everything days late is on time in today's standards.
No, days late when the day of delivery, which was last week, they called to say they had to show up early. And
Oh,
then before
okay.
the original delivery time, get a voicemail going, the TV isn't here.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep, I've
that
gotten that. I
and
had that
then
with my stove this year.
and then that adventure continued.
Yeah,
Because I should also
but it
point out,
only took days.
yes, it only took days.
Yeah, that's
It-
nothing. Yeah,
yeah.
no. We had that happen in April. We bought a stove in March. We were called in like a week later, said we don't actually have it in stock right now. It'll be delivered sometime in May. And then in May, they said, okay, we're going to deliver it they gave us the time window. And then a few hours after that time window, they called, said, no, we don't have it. We'll deliver it in another month. So the stove we bought in March, we got in June.
That sounds fun.
That's late. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, my therapist ordered like a bookshelf unit from IKEA and got it after like 4 or 5 months.
I would make a joke about her having to put it together herself, but that is the IKEA thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has
Ah,
tiny minions.
okay, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
I feel like I need to order something from IKEA now. I need a project.
I think I'm gonna replace my bed frame soon.
The
So,
ones on Wayfair are pretty nice. The ones from IKEA generally suck.
yeah, I just gonna get a basic one
And
and not deal with
Wayfair,
it.
Wayfair, you have to build yourself too. So
Yeah, I'll look at it, but I think I have a general idea what I want. But we'll see. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yeah,
I don't mind talking furniture for a little while longer.
I'm good either way.
Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run with the Will.
I'm AR Pulver. You can call me AR Pulver Sama.
I'm DevQ, and I'm used to being the one called to assemble furniture.
It's been a week for everyone. So, did you guys see my news?
Yeah. So does that get you on IMDb now?
I've I'm pretty sure I've been there before, and I'm pretty sure the listing's confused because I'm pretty sure my listing's split between 3 or 4 different things over confusion of name spelling at some point.
Uh,
Yeah. So I wrote, directed, and was one of the cast members of an anime dub. Hooray!
You are internet
yay!
famous
I'm
now.
sure you'll. I'm sure you'll get invited to conventions in no time.
Someone made that joke right after the thing happened, and I just went, yeah, I don't think doing the fill-in dub for a dub that no one heard in the first place, and it's only become famous because of how weird it is and trying to track it down. We tracked down everything except a couple minutes of which there was 30 or so seconds of dialogue, and wrote it, recorded it, and show's done. Hooray.
I
You
feel
went
like I need
through
a
on your
copy of this
thread.
so I can riff it endlessly.
I'm okay with that. Oh, believe me, it is a needs to be riffed dub, even ignoring the part that I did. I
Maybe I'll do it while chewing that gum.
and that will be shipped once the person who has not given me their address gives me their address.
Not it.
Yeah, I forget.
Oh yeah, it's sitting out in my living room, a stack of discs for both of you with the gum hidden in one of the discs.
It's ripening. The gum is ripening.
To be fair, the gum is single pack wrapped. It's ripening no matter where it is. It's just now ripening in a Blu-ray package.
I'm reminded of my friends at our holiday party where one of them put a piece of gum. No, it was Haichu. It was a single piece of Haichu inside of a Nintendo DS case, and then wrapped it in subsequent layers of boxes and duct tape and more wrapping paper, and then handed it to one of our other friends to try and open up without any kind of sharp object available. It
Why?
was great. Because he's an
What
asshole.
holiday parties do you have?
Better parties than that. Better party events than that.
I mean, hey, the
I should
last
tell you about.
party I actually hosted, I cut a cake in half with a katana.
See, that's more. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's definitely better than the gum wrapping and
Anything. I mean,
unwrapping.
most parties are better with sharp weapons involved.
And then we have episode 5, Divine Anger.
Oh
I think
my.
it's the best one so far.
I'm
Oh
torn.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
best episode, as in it is the most amusing episode. It's starting to all it blocked the problems by being very entertaining, but the problems are becoming slightly more obvious. It does a very good job of blocking the problems by just being really fucking entertaining, though, I have to say.
Yeah, it is the most entertaining. Now that I look back I forgot that I gave episode 1 a straight A and this was an A minus, but yeah, this is the most entertaining
Yeah,
episode for sure.
yeah.
Jellymon is just like
We
wonderful.
really hit the nail on the
We
head with the Nagatoro
we
jokes,
ex-
didn't we?
we came in expecting Nagatoro and they frickin' delivered.
It, it,
Oh,
well,
it was amazing.
I think we said last time the joke's gonna be on us when it's just Nagatoro and that's it, and that's it. That's
Nagatoro is particularly effective as a Digimon.
yes.
Just
Let
this
me rephrase that.
unrepentant asshole troll.
She's particularly as effective as a Digimon with tentacles and a penchant for hacking.
It is a
If she just
fun.
spends like the rest of the series just tormenting the shit out of her partner, I will be happy.
That's what I was. So that was what I was conflicted about, actually. Well, I'll get that out right away because the normal progression is you're going to expect some sort of a character growth, and you're already seeing it that they're going to have some sort of a mutual respect for each other and blah blah blah. That's what we should be cheering for. That's what they're going to do. Part of me is just like, yeah, I'm with Dev. Like when Jellymon said run away, like let's just run away, that I kind of wish that Kiyoshiro's and Jellymon would just run away and the rest of the entire series would just be them trying to survive in the ruins of post-capitalist Japan. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
No, I think that would burn out those characters because
No,
But
because
that's why the
the
setting,
next
like
episode will
it
be
has to
like
be
the
in the
last
rubble
one.
of with the digital economy crashing.
and
It'll
the
just turn into Digimon Mad Max.
Yeah.
eh, there's plenty of terrible shows that try and do that.
Hey, that one episode of Adventure that was totally Mad Max, the of the reboot, everyone liked.
Yeah,
So
it riffed on it for one episode and then it moved on, though. Here we get just basically comedy the whole episode, which worked very well comedy wise.
I love how Hero's just like, oh yeah, I figured that all that shit was going on was probably a Digimon.
I like though how once again he didn't actually care enough to figure it out. He just kind of
Yeah.
assumed and then went on with his days.
Yeah, like he feel like, yeah, that's his problems are probably due to Digimon. I'll get to it when I get to
Yeah.
it.
And then
But yeah, it
He didn't
stole
even
his dad's other Digivice. I mean, I guess you can keep
Yeah,
it
he
out.
didn't even give Kiyoshiro the Digivice. Like he
no,
just
and
shows up like, "Yep, Digimon." Yep.
that's where the stuff kind of starts to kind of fall apart at the beginning. How was she doing that exactly? The show kind the show does not the
I
show has
assume
not
that she stole
decided.
it from Hero.
No, but I'm saying we've been told they can't.
Only by Angoramon, who was obviously
Yeah.
proven wrong.
Yeah, I think
No,
I would
not
love
even
it if
Angoramon. I
Angoramon
mean,
wasn't.
we see that what's the little shit's name? Drakumon can't do shit.
Because he's a weak
Yeah.
little bitch.
They've kind of flipped back and forth on what Digimon can
I'm getting
actually
it.
do.
Yeah, I feel like they can like maybe interact with things, but not necessarily people.
Maybe, but it's funny enough that at no point we're still at the beginning of the episode and they don't become partners. She just hits the fucking button herself, which is she
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's amusing. And I
And
like
it's like, and that's what's great. It's like Hero's just, yeah, I can't take it back. I'm just going to show you how to use it. You're on your
yeah.
own.
And then of course because everyone's like, look at all that blood on the ceiling. It's a horror show. And
Oh my god.
I remember writing down and I didn't even go back and edit it later when I was writing, what I was thinking about the show as it was going. I believe my which will be revealed to be paint or ketchup or something pretty
Mm-hmm.
shortly. And
Yeah. Oh
ketchup.
yeah. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, is that going to be ketchup or something
Oh,
else?
it showed up in the episode preview. And people are going, "See blood, blood dripping from the sea." It's like it's
Oh
not going to
my
be blood.
god. This is not. It's not
This is
that kind of show.
no, it really
This is a
isn't.
show for children.
Yes. And Jellymon mocks, and is the basically the 8-year-old cartoon version of a Nagatoro or an Uzaki or Takagi, any of those characters. Although it feels like Nagatoro's the more obvious one because that show's
Nagatoro's the
recent.
one. Yeah.
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 And
Glorious
Takagi
underpinned asshole.
isn't quite loud enough for
no.
that.
And we finally find out Kiyoshiro's secret origin. He's an anime fan.
Yeah, that's great.
And
It like
the origin of his band-aids and his no doubt horribly scarred arm is he watched some in-show equivalent of Love Chuniburo and Other Delusions and just put a band-aid on his arm.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. They go into it like we got that profile and you're reading it and just kind of rolling your eyes. It's like, okay, it's just this another super genius type like Toma and he's uptight. Okay. Okay, so it's like
He's a wannabe
combining
little
Toma and
edgelord.
a little bit of Joe, and then all of a sudden they hit you with he's also a freaking weeb.
Yep.
It's great. Great.
Yep.
We decided Kirishiro is basically a combination of the worst aspects of Koshiro, Joe, and the dub version of Zenjiro from Cross Wars, where they turned him into a weeb in the dub, which was one of the best changes that dub made, incidentally.
And then they remember the show has other characters, and we get to see Angoramon doing the helicopter thing.
Briefly.
And
That's
also
Go,
another
Gil,
thing.
go.
and also Angoramon using the phone because they kind of get mixed up in what's happening. I like Angoramon using the phone, but then randomly he's with Ruli later. It
Yeah.
I I guess
Yeah,
we're
they
supposed
forgot about
I guess we're supposed to assume he went back to pick her up even though she no longer has her phone.
I'm
They
gonna
they, they,
take your phone, I'll come pick you up later.
they kind of I mean we said it
It
before.
is
We'd
possible
go ahead.
It's possible that she was, like, riding on his back or something. I don't
I
think
Or
we
like
had an
on the
angle that
ground below him.
disproved
it,
that.
it it feels
Yeah,
like
or
it
maybe
goes.
just, like,
Go ahead.
whatever it was insecure.
Yeah.
Like, she's just gonna hang on for dear life.
We really need more Ruli is the main focus there.
Y Yeah, it's After the first 4 episodes, and we kinda talked about this with her introduction episode, is that Rudy's kind of, is pretty level. We didn't get a whole lot of her in her debut episode. In episode 4, she was okay, she was fine, like, we got a little bit
Yeah.
more, and it's
Now
like,
they
through 4 episodes, like, okay, this is a pretty reasonable group. Like, Hito's fine, Rudy's fine, and then these 2 show up, and
yeah.
suddenly the goalposts are moved, and Rudy's not fine anymore.
Yeah.
She's
Now
actually
here
kind of disappointing
now
compared to the other 2 partnerships.
they get to be forgiven in this case because the episode works so well on its own. But they need to
Yeah,
deal with Ruli sooner rather than later.
they
They really
yeah, they
need
need
to.
to give her something. They need
To
to make her, because she's if it keeps up at this rate and they don't find a way to give her a little more idiosyncrasies, she's gonna be into, like, Izumi territory really
I,
fast.
I don't even need idiosyncrasies. We just need more time with the character, I think, because we've gotten so little actual time with her that effectively she's been a different character each time.
Yeah, I mean, we've picked up
I
on
can do
little
that.
things, and I
Yeah.
can kinda see how they all fit together, but
Yeah.
yeah, we just need something like, what's her defining thing that
Yeah.
really sets her apart, because those things do exist with Hito
Yeah.
and Kiyashiro.
And then we get the moment where everyone loves the moment, but it's also the moment that's maybe where the episode might go too far into joke. This kind of is broken is Gamamon with the snakes, where he's where
Oh,
where
no,
he
that was fantastic.
where he's
That
just
was great.
turning
It
to
was
where he's
great.
turning and posing for the camera. That's great, but that also may be the moment where the show may be jumping a bit off the rails in a way that may come back to haunt the show later.
Nah, no, I
I
didn't
And
I
then he
wouldn't
just
be
I
like
shocked.
picks up all these goddamn snakes. Just like shoves them out the
Mhm.
door.
And
It's
then
like, "Yay,
the
snakes!"
episode remembers that it set up a problem, and hey, look, it's Majiramon, and he's a very big hologram. The episode really is not interested in the actual villains. Isn't really the right term. It's not interested in the antagonists because they've made the antagonist Jellymon.
Yeah, Jellymon's the
Majir
antagonist
Yeah.
of
Majir
this episode,
Majiramon and company only exist because they have to give something to do to make all of it wrap up in the end.
which is kind of disappointing because of the story they use. Like, the whole idea of, like, this hacker comes in and crashes Japan's economy. The whole digital economy thing is just, like, on a knife's
Am
edge,
I
and
also?
and
Am
all
I?
of that.
Sorry,
There's
go
a
ahead.
lot of really interesting, like, there's a good fertile ground there to really get a whole episode and really dive into and have the kids actually do something with it. It's and to use it in such a throwaway storyline
It
is
was a
really
bit weird.
disappointing. Like,
The one
yeah,
weird, the
and
one weird thing. A lot of people apparently don't know that the economy is digital. I saw a lot of people going that they're talking about NFTs, and no, they're not.
no, they're not. I
The
wish they were.
they
Like, I'd love, like,
100% were not.
that would be such a great Atmon episode,
Yeah,
is to, that's kind of Atmon's thing,
yeah,
is to talk about that sort of stuff and to
but it
actually
really
talk
was
about the
not.
implications of it. No, they were talking about PayPal, basically.
They were basically talking
Yeah.
about any and all digital banking, which is what most of
Yeah,
it is nowadays. There was no,
yeah.
oh, it's someone's hacking NFTs or anything like that. That had nothing to do
No,
with it.
no. I know, don't ruin it for everybody, though. Let them have their fun, because yeah, no, it's
They get to have their fun when they finally understand it's not a hardcore horror show. Then they can have fun.
yeah. I do wish, the way they set up Majiramon and that whole 108 points of light, that big punishment. I kind of wish that would come back. Like, I want to see some like main enemy Digimon get that treatment. Like, I want to
But
see
I
him
also kind
actually
of like
do
the
that.
other one. I also kind of like Hero and them just being completely fucking outclassed by basically godly
That
farm
was
animals.
Yeah.
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 Well, the 108. That's
Bitmon's
just
just like, "Yep, I'm just gonna sneak up behind you and knife your neck for a second here while he slips by. Okay, we're good, thanks."
the 108 actually isn't special because that's just one of his attacks.
Yeah, I just want to
Well,
see it though.
also it like 108 comes up in a ton of shit
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
who
yeah, oh,
doesn't?
yeah, totally.
No,
Yeah, it's a
it
big,
sound
it's
it
a thing
sound
from
it sounds
Budokan.
impressive to have him say it, which is probably why he was used, to be honest. Because you could have just used
Then
you
I'm
could have
sure
used.
it's
Go ahead.
yeah,
Much more
it's well the
impressive than
whole
using like Zenimon or
No,
something.
exactly.
yeah,
Or having
yeah.
someone comment that lightning to say the 108, and it works well.
It's appropriate, and it also takes the idea of them just fighting it out of the picture. Like they're not
Yeah.
just it just does not it's a Digimon that does not feel like you can just go up and attack it and force it into submission. Like you actually need to reason with this.
Yes.
Grant, I mean, obviously we all saw Tamers and we know he ain't really shit, but that's a different series.
Why are you talking about Millenniumon all of a sudden? That's not gonna get old ever. And
Nope.
then, but hey, Jellymon decides she's gonna take Majiramon on, face on, does that neat little. We didn't know she could do that before the episode, did we? Like that, I don't think that was in profile information, was it?
No, 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 it was not.
And then she fires,
What the
and the where she can
just
turn the tentacle into a cannon.
oh, no.
Yeah, that was a neat
I
visual.
don't care about profile information.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I mean
just the
no, no,
it
no.
was it was
I
a
I don't mean profile information specifically. I mean profile information was basically all we had for her so far, and I don't think it mentioned
oh,
she
well.
could do that.
I
Yeah, she went
mean, we
full
would
on
have
fucking
Yeah,
Splatoon.
and she fucking
yeah.
missed, and it worked out for him. But that's terrible fucking
Oh, yeah,
aim.
I thought that was what she was intending to hit, was to take out that last target.
No, I'm pretty sure she
Um,
actually said she missed.
oh,
Or someone
okay.
makes the comment that she missed whatever it was that she was aiming for Majiramon, and it just happened to go past him and hit the last one.
Well, the
I'm
last one was in
reasonably
their
sure.
room, though. Yeah, the last one was inside
I'm pre-
the
I'm
dorm.
I'm pretty sure she missed it. I could be wrong though.
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to
I
go back and
didn't get
check that.
that impression.
I'm pretty
Either
sure she
way,
missed.
either way, in the height of the action, to that's ballsy there to in the height of the conflict to suddenly have him use this attack and suddenly cutesy pose, boom or bang, bang Q is what she said.
And
She is
hey,
precious and I love her.
and
Yeah,
then
it's
we get
great.
we get the nice everyone's sitting around on the playground equipment, and they tell us what her deal is. She has a crush on him, and they've apparently decided she's Lum all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean,
Which if
I
she's
can't.
Nagatoro, I guess Lum also fits well
Yeah, that
enough.
that fits really well.
Yeah, it
I can't
fits
tell if
cartoonishly well.
I can't tell if she had a crush on him before all this happened or she developed one over the course of the experience, but
I think
either
I
way,
assumed it
this
was the
is
latter.
the suggestion
yeah,
to me
I
was
got
that
that
that's
too.
why she was hanging around in the first place.
Well, I mean,
I
she
figured just because
also
he was
explained
funny
that
as hell.
yeah, she's like he looks like somebody that would be nice and to harass. He's very harassable. Let's just go with it.
But that kind of goes back to the Nagatoro thing of that's entirely why she harasses him, isn't it?
I thought it was well, for those it depends on the series because there's also the element of he likes her, which she's not going to let stand.
Oh man, it was a nice episode, but I would like episodes to start having more meat to them. About when we said this is where like the show gets to cheat because it did it so well that it's easy to kind of wave your hand and go, if you give me two or three of these, I will delay whatever it is I'm looking for.
Yeah, I gave it 6
Yeah.
episodes to get your wiggles out and, introduce the characters and they get one more episode.
See, here's the
I don't
thing.
know if you need one
If
more. I don't know if you need one more Kiyashiro episode to get
here's the
him
thing,
established. I think we're good.
if next week is Ruki and Ngoramon's excellent adventure and it's wacky, I'll give it another episode or two before I start getting this kind of doesn't know what it's doing. Because going wacky
It
and
does. The
fun.
next episode does sound very Duty making things happen. So we might be okay. We might see something like that.
Yeah. And then the cursed song where we get to see. Well, what's interesting is they show flashes of the Digimon in the preview, but if you don't read the episode guide, you wouldn't actually know who the Digimon is.
Unless
They,
you're
they
absolutely obsessive and
to be fair, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
no,
there's a
I watched this in a group and we all knew who it was.
yeah. It's one of those things where they show enough, they tell you enough about the plot, but if you don't like follow Digimon characters who don't show up and stuff, you would not actually know that it's Sirenmon. But then you wouldn't know who Sirenmon
Which
is
is
anyway, so it doesn't
which is
matter.
good. Like use
Yes.
Digimon in the places they belong, not because they've shown up and stuff before.
I mean, they've kind of already done that in this show also.
Well, use it whatever, use what's appropriate more than what's
Yeah.
popular. And obviously this story fits Sirenmon to a
Yeah,
T, so
exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing how they integrate that and want to see them do stuff with Rulian and Gormon. I want to see more of the fucking helicopter thing. I like that.
yes.
I think her the idea of her dragging the guys into karaoke already has a ton of potential.
Yes, it does.
Like
That
there better be some hijinks involved with that.
oh, they're damn well better be hijinks. Absolutely.
Yeah, like they're gonna make Kiyoshiro'S sing. That needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm really
Thing is
looking
it going
forward.
to be horrible singing or is it going to be like surprisingly really good singing where everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
He's I want him to show up and pick some random weeb anime tune and just give it all his gust. You just go full gusto into it,
I
and
would
they
shit a
just
brick if
drag
they
him
used
for
one
it.
of the previous songs from Digimon or
Oh
even
my
the opening theme.
god.
Well,
Oh
that's the
my
thing
god,
is there's actually
if he
very
just
little.
they would never do I don't think they would actually yeah, they wouldn't do that, but he just came up and started going in on fire. That'd be
There's very little.
hilarious.
There's very little they would have access to without fucking around.
No.
They would
No.
basically
Yeah.
have various music from Adventure 2020 and various music from Cross Wars. And there's a lot of potential with Cross Wars, but it kind of breaks the entire reason to use it would be to fuck around, basically.
He can do break the chain. It's okay.
They have to save Break the Chain for when that CD comes out. And then Taichi will jump into an
It could
episode.
be they could have timed it so it was a preview for the CD release.
Oh
Oh,
man,
that would have been great.
that was a very good
Hashtag
episode.
cross promotion.
It's very much a good episode. It's also very much where if the episode was not so damn fucking amusing, there's a lot of issues cropping up in that one. None of them matter because the
Yeah.
episode's amusing, but it's where the pattern starts to hit again and again and again, and I'm hopeful for next week,
Mm-hmm.
or at the very
Yeah,
least, in the
it
next few
brought
weeks,
the
we
episode
should.
from an it brought the episode from an A to an A minus,
Yeah,
basically.
that's the thing is if an episode is just really fucking amusing, it's very easy to ignore problems, and it's
I
perfectly
wanted
happy.
I
I'm
wanted to
perfectly happy
give
to.
I wanted I wanted to give this episode an A. I just couldn't, but I
Yeah.
wanted to. And that's a
No,
good sign.
no, I would agree with that. It very much is punching above the actual episode.
Which is
Wh-
what you want from
No,
the
absolutely.
episodes that are just kind of establishing everything.
Exactly.
Like you want those to be funny and entertaining
And
before
they
we
are.
get to the good stuff later.
Exactly. I'm happy it did that because it really does work well. If nothing else, just to kind of set up the character moods. Like having
Mhm.
it does it very well, and I'm very pleased to see that. Even if I think the episode has more flaws than even we talked about, because it's fun. I'm
Mhm.
perfectly
And
happy
that
to
was
have
a
a fun episode.
failing that was kind of a failing in episode 3 with Rudy's introduction is that it wasn't as fun for
Yeah,
what's supposed to be her first look at what we kind
especially
of
if
presume to be a really fun character.
yeah, that's the weird thing is from episode 1 and 2 we went, oh, this is gonna be so much fucking fun when she's properly introduced, and it
And it just
wasn't.
was No, it was really
Yeah.
sad, which is, I mean, understandable for the character given what she was going through, but
No,
they
absolutely.
chose to have the character go through that,
And then
which I
Yeah.
think was a bit of a misstep.
we're going to talk about AR's favorite part of Ghost Game. Pedal is available as a digital single in and outside of Japan. AR, how does this make you feel?
I did not actually listen to this one.
It's
Very forgettable.
so here's the I wouldn't say it's forgettable. It's flat. Which
So I don't need to listen to the full
here
version of this
here's
one.
here's the way I would say the song is represented very well by its cover art.
Yeah.
And for anyone who hasn't seen
Wow.
the cover art, it is a single shade of slight turquoisey blue, and it says Iro Apollo at the bottom right in English and Japanese in white text, and that's it. Now here's the thing: we have had three singles. One of them had a full cover and it was very nice. The other one basically used the Ghost Game logo, and it's an insert song. That's fine. This, you needed some sort of energy. Use the fucking artwork from the show that they were everyone was so happy about. Even if that's it, there's something.
That's
This is
it's
not.
Just
yeah,
use a goddamn
it's
screenshot.
This isn't enough
Yabuno
for.
I mean Yabuno co-wrote the song, you should use his art for it.
But yeah, the song isn't bad. It's fine enough. It's just the
It's a
open the
it's one of
opening.
those hit or miss Digimon ending songs that are just some of them just don't really
Yeah,
do a whole lot.
and at the very least, there's only a few more months of this one left, probably. That's the weird thing is I don't even dislike it. It's just
It's there.
there's
Yeah, it
it's
just okay.
there. I kind of like it. I don't hate it, but I don't really have anything to say. I don't even remember it in my head right now, to be honest. It exists.
I'm getting it. We can stop talking about it now.
No, see that thing
Mm,
is I keep trying to think of something positive to say, and I just go, "Oh yeah, it's these four guys," and then we have cards.
cards.
Yep,
Cards.
Cyclomon. Man, that's one of those guys who does not show up that often, and this looks like a weird. I like his art. It's like a Street Fighter 2 attacking something.
Cyclomon is the Digimon that you encounter in the game and go, why hasn't this showed up in the series before? Like,
Yeah.
who is this guy?
And then we have art of one of the most
He is
important Digimon.
Cyclomon is a monster of the week that hasn't happened yet.
And then the art that everyone liked was Bancho Mamemon.
Everyone liked that.
Oh yeah,
So
everyone
that's the
liked
weird thing.
that.
Everyone liked the art. It's great art. It's also maybe too stereotypical with what you would expect from Bancho Mamemon. I love
The
it, but
thing
yeah.
is with the Bancho poses are just extra effective when it's
Yes.
Bancho Mamemon. If that was Bancho Leomon,
Oh no, it
well,
wouldn't
you
work.
kind
Yeah.
of shrug, but it's Bancho Mamemon, so it works.
Yes. Then the Twitter account for the card game got 50,000 followers, so they put up a big wide version of the two War Greymon playing the card game from it was booster 1 or 2 that card was. I don't remember which though.
I think it
Uh
was 2.
yeah.
I
And
want to say
then
it's 2.
Yukimon gets another card. They've shown up it was I want to say booster 5. They've gotten a card somewhere and it was purple. So I'm saying booster 5, I think it was. But yeah. And then this is the one that it feels like surprised everyone. Oikawa got a Tamer's card.
Yeah, I would not expect
Yeah,
that in like 1,000 fucking years, honestly.
No,
I mean they're
absolutely.
going with a lot of. It's a 0-2 heavy pack, so
Yeah.
I
Still not one of the
if you're
obvious
gonna,
ones though.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
then the time that we also got Pandemonium Flame and Belial Vamdemon.
God damn, those look fucking good.
So the Belial Vamdemon card itself, that does not like I love the art. It would not have been the pose I would have thought of at first to put him in, and it really works. It's like a supervillain pose,
mm-hmm.
and it really
It
works,
it
especially
gave me Promare feels.
He's
Yeah, he's
he's
going
such
all M Bison here.
yeah. It's the M Bison pose, but he's such a large
Maybe
fucking
that's
dude. It didn't like
maybe that's
come
who
to mind.
maybe that's who Cyclomon's fighting.
That's and then hey, the Pulsemon family gets a card. Bibimon gets man. That's a fucking cute. Like that is like a weird like Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry face on the Dokimon that's with Bibimon.
Digimon's here to cause trouble.
Yeah. And Pulsemon's reading on how to work out.
It's actually really relevant to like Digimon Dreamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is very
And
Dreamers.
then
This is
and
Dreamers Pulsemon.
and then for Pistmon, he's on a bike. I like the art,
He is a bike.
but there's not much to say with this one because they don't like. You think you'd show it where he's clearly drifting. I think he's supposed to be skidding to a stop. It just doesn't show off that well. And am I wrong, or is the background here the Impulse City for Pistmon?
I don't know enough about it to really remember.
And then Shibamon. Great card.
It's okay.
Here's what's weird about it, and I think it's why a lot of people are going, it looks nice, but it's kind of weird. It's like a redraw of the profile artwork. Like there's not much unique or special here, even though it looks really nice.
Yeah, and it's a little busy.
Because they use that.
There's
I don't think they've
yeah.
decided how they want that character to look, not doing the cross legs. So they're just using it for every image now. And then the one that universally people seem to like, minus people who don't know what the show looks like, is Aquilamon and Miyako. Those cards both look fucking great.
I'm still so happy that we don't have to deal with the static profile art on top of
Oh no, see, I like seeing the comments because you can tell anyone who has not seen what the actual profile art looks like, they're like, man, they could have at least given Miyako new art. And it's like, this is new. This is not.
This is good.
This is not only new art. Here's the thing: it shows style art. This is not what she looks like in the show. This is like the memory of what a character looks like in the show, and I really love it. But that's not really the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we get Skull.
I was checking for a second to see if her profile art even used that outfit. It did. It did.
Then Skull Satamon gets great art, to be honest. Like, it's closer to horror than everything we've seen in Ghost Game so far. It isn't, but it's closer.
That's a cheap shot, but yeah.
It's true.
It's some Castlevania bullshit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So someone's going to hit a wall, and there's going to be a pork chop. Or a chicken leg. And then
roast!
Frozomon. I don't know why. Every time we see Frozomon, it looks fucking amazing, to be honest. I don't know why I'm so amused every time I see this Digimon. I think it's because the design works so well despite being a clusterfuck.
It's a snowblower. I mean,
but I mean, it's a snowblower.
It was more like a Zamboni.
It has a robot clamp arm. It has a fan on the front.
Yeah.
It has a heat sword. It has ice missiles. It's like this weird clusterfuck thing that also works.
Yeah, it is a snowblower. I think they need because of this art they need to come out with a Zamboni Digimon. I think we need that now.
I think he can do both. I believe in you, Frozomon.
Mode change.
Frozomon. Hockey mode. Give him a hockey stick in one hand. Oh no, a flaming hockey stick.
Oh yes.
You can already imagine the card out because
instead of the missiles, it launches ice pucks.
Volcamon's going to be the hockey player in the background of that.
And then we get an Agumon black line with Osmaria doing 3 of the 5 cards. These all look great, and I'm still convinced that that the design was purposely set up so he's actually warping. Because for the first 3, for sure, it looks like each one's taking place shortly after the last.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the other 2 are by different artists, so that may just be a happy accident for those 2, but it works, where it looks like he's warping through all four and then doing Dark Gaia Force.
Just
It's
a fun
gorgeous.
romp through apocalyptic
Yep.
destruction.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that people said they didn't like the Metal Greymon one, to be honest, because that looks fucking awesome, that card.
Well, obviously
I
they
can
have
see
good
why
taste.
people. I like it too. I can see why people think it's the black sheep of the family.
Bad Judgment?
It's just he's a little far away compared to some of the other ones.
See, he's far away, though, so they can do that cool pose and show it off
Yeah,
completely in the
yeah.
image. Like, I
I mean,
really like that pose. It looks wild and great. I'm
I like
very
it.
pleased with it.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
And then we finally get details on that Christmas gift box, which theoretically is still. They really need to stop saying when they plan for stuff to come out when there's a port issue. Because they're like, it's gonna be. They're like, it's gonna be there for.
You'll,
It's gonna be there in December for Christmas.
you'll,
It's like, stop fucking saying
you'll
that.
you'll get it whenever.
Yeah. So for
Yeah, I had to deal with that at work. Constantly, it's like, oh, why don't you have this? Why don't you
yeah,
have this? When are you getting this? Like, okay, if you want it that bad, go take a swim in the fucking Pacific Ocean.
yeah, it's like most. It's like, here's the thing, Bandai would love to sell you all this shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I believe in the U.S. booster set, is it 6 or 7 that's the one that isn't out yet? 6? I've gotten mixed up on the
I
numbers,
lost
to be
count.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't keep track of
And,
this stuff.
and so people are like, how can you release this before we have the other one? It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Get the fucking
Yeah,
card.
who says they'll release it? Whether it will
Yeah.
be on, whether
So
people will
so
get
for
it
so for
before is the question.
$25, you get 4 classic collection booster packs. I actually think that's what the value is, because these are $16 for these. So basically, about $9 for everything else, which you get a memory counter case, which looks like the 2020 Digivice. It actually looks kind of nice, to be honest.
Yeah,
It
it's
has a
kind of
nice look
cute.
to it. And you get 4 memory counters using LCD sprites. And as far as I
Mm-hmm.
can tell, these are larger than normal, because they actually say the memory gauges are large to be used with these. And I like the art on them, but man, you could do something a little nicer than just, hey, remember this art? There you go. And then, of course, a new alternate art card. I actually really like this War Greymon card, to be honest. It looks nice.
Yeah,
Everyone who,
it's a good card.
and this is where the delay is kind of fuck over, where they clearly planned something neat, where, oh, if you buy a full box case of um, Classic Collection, you get this card as a bonus. Classic Collection was meant to basically be out before this would. So it's like, and if you buy this, you'll get one of the cards guaranteed. So let us all place our bets. Will this be available before Christmas?
Not looking that great.
No, no.
I'm gonna say yes for one reason. If they're saying it at this point and this is meant to be like a holiday gift box, I think they figure out a way to make it happen, and it's maybe not on a ship already. And they'll just ship it the other direction or something stupid like that to make sure it gets in there for holidays.
They have drones that will fly over the ocean now.
And then a couple videos. They did card previews for Fun Digica, which was the Black War Greymon and Agumon cards. Card Battle did a match, and that's where we got the Belial Vamdemon preview. And man, I'm sure them doing online matches against people is gonna go great. That's always something that works out well, isn't it?
Hmm.
You know what? I'll go ahead and say it will work better than the tournament Bandai US is trying to do next year. I know that's like
I
setting the
mean,
bar
that's a
very
low,
low.
low bar.
I know that's a low bar, but it's a fair one, I think. And then, by which Ghost Game Digimon do you want to see in action? And the winner is Gamamon, shocking everyone, I'm
What was
sure.
it? When was this poll open from? Like, did that just
Like,
close last week?
No, it closed. Let me see if I can find the exact one. The actual closing was October 27th. So it closed before and
Okay.
so it
Okay.
closed after Angoramon was introduced, but before the Halloween episode.
Okay. Which does speak to like the one you want to see in action, even though we've seen Gamamon in action, just
Yeah,
not much of it.
yeah. Although considering all three are new Digimon, it's closer than you would have thought, I think.
I mean,
Like,
it's a pointless poll in the end anyway.
I mean, when was the last time we had one of these from Digimon Web that wasn't? I mean, they're all pointless, but
This is even more pointless than
yeah,
usual.
I mean,
yeah,
it's not like we're getting like nice art out of it like the holiday ones.
yeah, exactly.
Does this mean we get a life-size plushie of Gamamon? Because that'd be good.
I feel like that's something they have to be. We haven't really gotten much in the way of premium Bandai from them, so we'll see what pops up. And then Hatsune Miku returns to sell stuff. We get
Hopefully, it doesn't all sell out before I pick some up.
we get two
Right?
shirts, one which appears to be junior sizes, but very fun to use the Miku Mimi art. I think that actually works well on a shirt. And then the other one's the costume ones.
I like the costume one, but a little bit better,
It
honestly,
their
on the
format
shirt.
they were able to format the designs for a shirt, while the other one they kind of have the art.
It just yeah, just put the art on a shirt.
Yeah. And
I mean, it's
then
good art.
yeah, and then the day after the shirt went up, they put up a pin of Miku in the Agumon costume.
I might need that.
And I wonder if that's actually for sale now, because when we found it, it was, oh, it is. Haha. Oh, and stores have it also. So that is
I
in
checked my local store and they didn't yet, so I was sad.
well, it looks like
Mm,
it's for free pickup in stores, not actually at stores.
Nah, it's probably like they ship it to
Yeah,
the store and you pick it up there, which I've had to do because my neighbors are thieves.
yeah. Yeah, it looks like stores will have it within 3 to 8 days if ordered. Yeah, the
Pretty
pin,
reasonable.
I think the pin will sell pretty well, although it suffers from Hanna-Barbera-itis, where they don't realize that that's not Miku's neck that they've made flesh colored.
mm.
If you look at the art, that's actually supposed to be part of the Agumon costume.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened in the really, really old Batman cartoon all the time, where they would paint part of his neck skin colored when it's supposed to be part of the cow. Nice pin though, regardless, I'll say. And then we have events for November/December. Bandai's doing their Hobby Next Phase 2021 Autumn event in about a week. And they've, as part of the teaser for the Monday night stuff, they show the Tamers logo with Figure Eye Standard, and there will be some sort of announcement regarding it. Technically speaking, it's showing off a new one, but they've screwed around before with events where it's like they're going to announce something new, and what they actually mean is they're going to show you the final non-render of Beelzebubon. I think they're going to show something though.
It might be some small stuff.
Here's what I would say. Let's pretend it's only one. Okay, because here's the thing, it could be two, it could be whatever. If it's not amplified, I'm going to say it's Sakuyamon. If it is amplified, I'm going to say it's Saint Galgamon. If I were to guess. Or they could,
I
or
would
they could
I
cheat,
would lean towards Sakuyamon.
or they could cheat and have it be Cyberdramon and just reversion a common rider for it.
Oh God.
Because they could,
Ugh.
and they
They
could make it
And
look
I
could.
would
really
still
nice.
buy it.
Exactly.
Mm.
And then Mega Hobby Expo 2021 online is late November through December 3rd, and they will be showing off some form of Mega House Digimon Adventure figure, which is where things can get confusing because they Digimon Adventure does kind of just get used as a catch-all, and so this could be a new gem or a precious gem. It could be. Didn't they tease? It was like an Agumon and a Tailmon, like a big head figure or something from DigiFest. Didn't they show off something like that? But it was like artwork, and they said the figures would be coming soon.
Are they the sleepyhead ones or?
No, it wasn't those. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second, and I'll throw it in the chat also if I do. DigiFest. Let's see here, because there was something weird. It like was not the standard thing you would have expected. It was one of those things that was so odd that like it wasn't even shown. I don't think people even realized it was new until later. I can't find it. So there was something. It was like a Tailmon. It was like an augmented Tailmon figure, almost like a I can't remember what the
A
fucking names are.
bobblehead?
No, the big head figures. The ones they
Funko
make for
Pop?
fucking everything.
Oh, the
Yes.
pop figures?
Well, it wasn't pop. It was like from Mega House, but it was like a big head Agumon and Tailmon. It was just like a basic drawing. It's like they'd have news for this soon.
Oh.
Okay, that's starting to sound a little familiar.
Yeah, I literally don't remember what it was at all. But like we only ever saw one image of it, and we've heard nothing else since.
Yeah, because they have a habit of like dropping projects and.
Yeah, so it could be that because the only thing they really specify here is that matters has is it's Digimon, and it's going to be from Mega House. Oh, I found it. 1 second, I will throw it here and in the chat for them in the chat, and then to you guys. We only ever got these, and
Yeah.
they were called Look Up. Was the figure line?
Okay, I
Yeah,
remember. And I was
we,
like,
we
I remember saying, I don't care what it is. It's a kitty. I want it.
yeah. They were labeled as being designed now. Agumon and Tailmon were the first figures for it. It could just be these because we're due these soon. So yeah. And then Dev gets to spend money. So
Yeah.
pre-orders open for Dynamotion Greymon and Metal Greymon. Pre-orders
God damn
pre-orders also open for a Dynamon Mugadramon following a month later.
it!
And the Good Night Party Gashapon figures had pre-orders open. And I'll admit I actually pre-ordered all these.
My monies.
The Good Night ones are like some of the best looking figures we've got in years, especially for like really cheap figures.
You're so cute.
I'll admit I have the Hatsune Miku enamel pin in my cart right now. I'll be checking out after the show.
Now, did you get the
I'll
actual
get
figure?
that.
Did you get the figure?
No, I never got the figure.
I believe it's
I
sitting in
didn't
a
really
box
I
somewhere.
didn't really care. I didn't really care to get the figure, but I mean if you have an extra one you want to send me, I'll take it, but
I definitely do not. I got one, and it showed up like
no.
a year after I ordered it because of all the delays last year.
The Miku Agumon.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah.
that.
and then
I missed out on the original t-shirt. I should have got that too, but
and
Yeah, they
also
sold out of my size like instantaneously.
and before we
yeah.
move on from the figures, Digicole Mix is coming back for re-release, which tells us how well those sold that they're doing them again.
And
Those
again.
were-
And again.
Yep.
And again.
Yep.
Yep. And then everyone's favorite, the Tamer's Oi Oi shop gets some updates. Oi Oi.
Why?
We get the image of the pouch, which I don't know if this is a good pouch or bad looking at it, to be honest. I don't dislike it, but it doesn't look as nice as the cushion, which is part of the lot. The cushion should have been the pouch. You can buy the pouch, the cushion you have to win. Like, I actually like the look of the cushion. I actually think looks pretty good, to be honest. As much as I will joke about some of this art looking wonky, which it does, the weird where it's like green on one side, and then we get the Al Borland pants on the other side, and also the coasters. And the first one is open now, and I'm very curious to see what people import from these because some of them were more random than others. Like, is anyone going to get the chocolates or the cakes? We will see. I wouldn't be shocked if that. No, I think the acrylic stands are going to sell a bunch, though.
Acrylic stands also always do kind of good because, they're a convenient size and.
And they look nice basically wherever you put them. So, yeah. And then, before we talk about the museum, did you guys know Digimon Survive wasn't canceled?
Are
I
you
think I
sure?
heard something about that
It's been
months ago.
it's been rated PG-12 in Taiwan. Every country is just giving it its version of this is not quite PG-13, and there you go. It is shocking just how exact the ratings are country to country. Basically, it's not G, it's PG. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm getting the definite vibe here that this game is going to be appropriate for 12-year-olds.
Yep.
Like at some point, someone probably said "damn."
I think you mean darn.
No,
No,
you can
no,
say
for
damn in that. You
PG-13,
can
make it
say
damn.
damn and you can definitely say damn in it because they do in Cyber Sleuth, and that's has the same rating.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's Cyber Sleuth. That's before the producers and Bandai staff decided, ooh, these sell a lot in the US. We need to decide ahead of time what we think will be the hot button problem.
I'm not gonna go there.
I'm not wrong.
I want to, but I'm not going to.
And then the Digimon Adventure Museum exhibition closes about a week from now, and they're doing a bunch of photo shoots with Agumon for guests who could sign up, for Lotto for free photo shoots with him. And that's just fun. Reposted the images from it. And the one thing that I hadn't seen until today, do you remember how every time we've seen a photo of that Omegamon photo spot in the back, we kept commenting on how weird the chest art looks? We're like, it
I
doesn't
only
look
Not
quite
at
right.
all. Not at all, but go
No.
ahead.
Okay, so a photo someone put up on Twitter actually explains why that looks wonky. And I'm gonna go find the image so you can see it's actually really fucking clever, and it makes me sad that they said this was gonna be the only place they were gonna use it. It is actually a platform for people to stand on, so the photos they can make it
Yeah,
look like they are standing on Omegamon's
they're
shoulders.
particip They can make it look like you're in the
Yeah.
Oh.
Now this
yeah, they can
now
make it look like you're in the tri-stage play.
yeah, this photo's off angle, but it makes a lot more sense when you see it like this, where you can go,
That
okay,
that does make sense.
yeah, that's why it always looked like it wasn't attached. It isn't. It has
That
I don't
standing
makes
remember
sense.
platforms in between.
I don't remember this original conversation at all, so
It might have just been me and Dev.
My
I don't
memory is a
remember.
sieve, so.
if it came up on the show, I probably tuned it out because you guys were talking about Omegamon.
Don't worry, he'll show up in Ghost Game. They'll do a precious gem re-release and
I mean,
figure out a
half
way
the
to
time
shove
during the
Omegamon in.
podcast, I'm multitasking anyway, so half
Wouldn't
the
it be
stuff I don't
hilarious?
remember.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Zwart showed up in Ghost Game somehow after not showing up in the reboot?
What if it's Zwart Defeat?
Oh
Eh,
my god. That'd be
That would be really aesthetic.
defeat kind of boring at this point.
Yeah, but it has like that cool kind of like half zombie aesthetic, which would go,
We've established
Okay,
this.
no more Omega. No, we don't have to talk about Omegamon anymore. Let's move on.
That's your fault for keeping the conversation going. And then, hey, look, Omegamon model kit. We get to see the box art and a
God
preview
damn
of the
it.
figure.
That was like an anti-segue.
uh, very nice render for the cover, I will say. Yeah, I was just looking at that. I'm like, is he trying to do a fucking bit, or is he not paying attention and knowing that literally Omegamon's the next fucking thing we're talking about?
That was at me completely X. That was me not scrolling down.
So there's that. That's coming out this month. Tenya Yabuno put up some new art and some not quite new art. So first up from him, we have Pulsemon with Dr. Chuguru, which is a manga he does with Yu Kazaki. The same day Psycho Jump came out, a volume collection of that came out. And he also showed a frame from Dreamers, basically saying that when he's talking about the strongest, he isn't saying he wants to be chocolate, which is a fun Ghost Game reference. Yeah,
I understood that reference.
yes. And hey, look, it's strange. It doesn't list Super Ultimate on the chart showing the levels. It's almost like it's a level that
Oh
doesn't
God,
actually exist.
let's not don't
I like
don't nitpick dreamers.
Super
Don't
Ultimate.
make fun of
No,
other people who nitpick dreamers.
well, their nitpick's wrong is the problem. There is no Super Ultimate level. I'm just looking at how he colored in the pink dot to show that off, and I'm just amused by it. Then we have actual episode art. So they put up, I think, the nicest version we've gotten of Jellymon's profile art so far. It's either the nicest or like up there because the first batch was kind of ugly, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Then Kenji Watanabe shows Gamamon. I don't know if he's flying lazily or if he's like laying there and also flapping his wings and tail. I think he's flying.
This is
I think he's just kind of like floating in random directions.
yeah, this is from the episode where there was that one shot of where Jellymon was explaining stuff and Gamamon just kind of looked exasperated and was floating upside down for some reason.
Yeah, but Gamamon being frustrated feels like a recurring theme, so it was kind of
But
he.
not
That would
always
hint,
floating
yeah.
upside down. That was
Well,
cute.
yes, and he
But that's
also
what
met,
that's what that's
and
what that's from.
he also mentions that Gamamon is cute in his message. And then Tenya Yabuno put up art of Kiyoshiro, him holding a charm, and a tiny Jellymon sitting there, very much looking like she's doing a coo 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 laugh.
Yeah, Kiyashiro looks way too
Yeah.
cool in this picture.
Yeah, he's not
I
that
don't like
cool of
it.
a
Goddamn
character, is
Jamie
he?
Joe.
He's
Yeah,
really not that cool of a character, is he?
no.
And
He
then
wants to
last,
You
be
could
the
maybe flip that and have Jellymon in the foreground doing the coo 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 and Kiyashiro crying in a corner somewhere.
accurate.
That'd be more yeah.
and then last up for art this
Crying
week's,
in a corner watching his animus.
and then the last bit of art's an interesting one in that so Takashi Hashimoto did key animation and some animation directing stuff for War Game, Hurricane Touchdown, Kazuna, and he put up art we've actually never seen before done Yasuo Otsuka, who's basically one of the most legendary anime animators there is. Like, he taught Miyazaki, he taught any number of people, and he did the end card for movie 3. And it looks
Yeah.
like he had other rough designs for that. And we finally get to see those rough designs, and man, they're fucking amusing as hell.
They just make me feel happy.
I know, they really
Yeah.
are. The first, we get Terramon taking a photo of Wallace and Lopmon in a Jeep, and both like making like proud
Oh
faces.
yeah, they're
They're
trying to
trying
look
to look
way
cool.
cooler than they
And
are.
then and then very clearly for the second one, a Lupin inspired image.
Yeah, that's
Like, very much so.
yeah.
We get Lopmon on a 3-wheeler that appears it's meant to be Fujiko's motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we get something that looks very much like the Citron that Lupin and
It's Lupin.
Jigen often
It's
gets. Yeah.
all Lupin.
And then in the back, we get Inspector Chibimon chasing after them in the Jeep.
Inspector Chibimon.
That Chibimon head looks fucking amazing. Where, like, you can't really see his mouth, so you can kind of decide what he's doing. It's like, no, he's chasing after Lupin and Jigen.
It's going after the
Yeah.
thieves.
Yeah, and it looks like he decided to share it because Otsuka passed away earlier this year, and he decided, it's been a little more than
Yeah.
half. It's been a little more than half a year at this point. He decided this was something to share with fans. So it looks really neat.
It was
I
delightful.
I think the end card makes more sense in the context of the mood of the movie, but
It
the what
does, but the
but
movie wasn't very good, so we're gonna
no.
appreciate the
Hey, here's the
sketches
thing.
too.
The end card, I'm pretty sure, is the only time Lopmon's in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
It might be, yeah.
I don't think Lopmon's actually in the movie. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just the end
Maybe
card.
maybe somewhere in the trippy end part shows up
Oh,
briefly, but
that's possible. And then we have
possible.
questions.
I'm not rewatching the movie to find out, I'll tell you
Neither
that.
am I. Yeah, neither am I. In the chat, you guys can start throwing them up. And our first question's from Diego. He said he's been playing Super Robot Wars 30, and he wondered what one or two Digimon would we put in it to represent the brand. His opinion was Shine Greymon. I feel like you got to go with ones that feel more mechy, like Mugen is a villain type. It,
Yeah.
I
it,
was
it,
gonna say that would be my first choice.
and it feels like you need something from Cross Wars because that's really like the Super Robot Digimon show.
Yeah.
Mm. You know, you could almost get away with a Legmon. He's not exactly a robot, but he has that squareness to him.
That would work.
Hmm.
I think I'd go with X4 and that version of Mugen from Cross Wars.
Oh, there you
Ooh.
go.
Yeah, that's what I think I'd go with. He also wished
I like
us.
the Mirage Galgamon really fits that pretty well too.
Yeah, he also wished us a happy Thanksgiving because that came up
Oh,
last time.
thank
Thanksgiving for us is still a few weeks away. I think someone decided to send in a question about it because Halloween would be over by the time we were recording.
Nowadays you'll notice that that holidays are now occupy the entire month they're in,
Yes.
and sometimes before that.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, we're kind of
Halloween runs from the beginning of fall through October 31st. Thanksgiving is all of November
no
up until
Thanksgiving
the
get.
day after Thanksgiving, and Christmas starts in as soon as Halloween's over.
Yeah. See, that's the
Uh,
thing. Thanksgiving.
where I work, usually we get Christmas shit in starting at the end of May.
Yeah, I was gonna say Thanksgiving only
Yeah,
gets two.
well,
Thanksgiving only gets 2 days. Thanksgiving gets November
I
1st and
you know
Thanksgiving
what?
itself.
Let us have this because I'd rather Thanksgiving be a little longer than Christmas be overextended.
Um,
I think Thanksgiving's underrated as a holiday, honestly.
I just like an
Did you
excuse
get
to go see my family members.
Yeah, yeah. Most of
and
which I can still tolerate, so that's a
and
plus. Did you catch Ian's question from earlier in the
yeah,
chat?
yeah, I was gonna do Ramones first since that one's a bit shorter and more aimed
Okay.
specifically at Dev. Dev, you mentioned Zwart in Ghost Game. He wondered what did you think? What do you think about using Bolt Bodemon in Ghost Game?
That would actually be fitting really well, especially for kind of like a vampire masquerade kind of
Yeah,
theme.
It feels like it would.
definitely.
It really feels like it would
That
fit there.
definitely that's a good call.
Yeah,
We haven't seen him yet.
yeah. Then to scroll up to
I kind of
Ian's.
forgot he existed. Yeah, that's a
Well, he only really showed up in like a game, so
right,
Yeah.
right.
And then for Ian's, inspired by my remarks last time, which Digimon character would you want to see Chris Pratt voice?
mm,
See,
Mm.
the problem is like we're all sitting here and we're giving this like real thought. Like, who would Chris
Well,
Pratt actually
because
work with?
because there is a voice, there is a Digimon, and it has to be a Digimon that the Chris Pratt voice actually would be really funny. And I'm trying to think of which one the best one is. I was actually originally thinking like Terriermon, but this being like this really kind of half snarky one that I think could pull
I have
off.
both an answer that could be serious, but is also a troll answer.
I mean, it works either way. A serious answer should be a troll answer because a good Chris Pratt voice Digimon should be kind of a troll.
Zero Maru, because he's like a chunky puppy,
I'm not even
and that
sure
would be
that's a.
funny.
I'm not even sure that's a troll
That's
answer.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay,
Because he's kind of silly, but he can like get serious once in a while. But he's mostly
Yeah,
silly.
here's one. Are you
that
ready?
kind of works.
Edamon.
Mm,
Eh,
Kind of like a goofy flub wandering around.
it's sort of it's too it's
It's
kind of
too locked into
simultaneously
Elvis, you
both
think?
too. It's a little too predictable, and yeah, it's like it's Richard that's Richard Epcar's role. You can't replace Richard Epcar with Chris Pratt.
I mean, they replace a lot of people with Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
kind of like
Richard Epcar.
Murrow, kind of like Parks and
I
Rec.
like yeah, Zero Amaro is a good
No,
answer.
yeah, that's a good answer. Oh man. What bothers me the most is I saw someone tweet about it when they first announced he was Mario, and the instant I saw the tweet, I go, "This motherfucker! It's gonna be exactly that in the movie. The movie's gonna start, and he's gonna do a Charles Martinet line, and then he'll cough and go,
Oh,
"Sorry about that," and it'll be Chris Pratt.
I know I'm dreading that already.
That's 100% what they're gonna do, isn't it? It's gonna be
And
Charles
I've met
Martinet for half a line.
Charles Martinet doesn't deserve that. I've met Charles Martinet. He's so fun. He's just a ball of fun. Like
He
he's
really
just fun to be
complimented
around.
my Hollow Knight costume. I didn't even know who the hell it was at first because I was just kind of like sitting on the floor at this convention at the only clear spot there was, and this guy comes over. It's like, "Oh, hey, that's really cool. What character is that?" And, like, I take some pictures, and then he goes back over to like the
Yeah, he
booth
does
where he's
that.
sitting. It's like, oh, it's the Mario
He
guy. I have horrible, horrible facial recognition. Like, I can't even recognize half
and
the world.
his voice is he has a very unique real voice. Like he wanted to get a picture of a really good Predator cosplayer who was walking by, and the cosplayer didn't see him. I tracked down Predator and was like, "Hey, this Charles Martinet wants to get your picture." And so I can say I've chased down a Predator for Mario.
Uh, and
That's on my
then,
resume.
and then, I everyone's favorite topic. Question was sent in. You've talked about the
Weekly
Amico.
Amico discussion.
You've talked about the Amico, but you haven't talked much about the Retro VGS and any comments on the Evercade. We haven't talked about the Retro VGS because that went belly up. That went belly up maybe before AR was even on the podcast. And that was kind of different because here's the thing, all the jokes we make about the Amico, they don't know what they're doing, they're not finished. They do appear to be trying to make an actual thing. I'm not saying they're doing it
Yeah, it's
well.
funny
So
because it's funny because the project is still alive.
it's funny because they clearly don't know what they're doing, and it's become like an ego thing where nothing will be done right because it
Mhm.
has to be done for Tommy.
It has to be done at all.
Yeah. The thing with the Retro VGS is at very little point in that whole thing did it ever appear they're actually making something. Like the two most famous parts of the VGS saga was one when it was on display at a toy show and it was like duct taped together, and everyone's pretty sure the reason why it was duct taped together was the shell was over an SNES. Um, and
Yeah.
then when they went to prove that no, we have a working board and everything, and they showed the clear shell they had with a board in it, and within 10 minutes, people are like, no, that is a model blah 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 TV capture card from 1998.
One of the translucent IMAX.
Uh, so
Or
and the thing,
they made translucent N64s, didn't they?
yes.
Yes,
So
and they are just aesthetic.
so do you guys know anything about the Retro VGS or no?
I've never
Never even
heard of it.
fucking heard of
Okay,
it.
so the entire reason it appears to exist is someone got the rights to the Jaguar shell. Do you guys know what the Jaguar is?
Oh, yes, my
I've
friend had
heard of
one.
Okay,
it, but
okay,
No lie, I was actually jealous.
so the Jaguar was Atari's last real console, and it was advertised as 64 bits, and certain things about it did look nice and
It
interesting.
it looked nice for its time.
So here's
I
where
will
the
give it that.
story gets
I will
fucked up.
not I will not give it the 16 button controller. The
No,
keypad.
yeah,
That was awful.
so here's where it gets stupid. When Atari exists now, but it's not the same company. It's basically the name has been bought, IP rights have been
Yeah.
bought. So when Atari was basically crashing and burning, they were basically selling anything that was not bolted down. They sold the rights for the shell, and a dental company bought them because they make like a dental camera. So it was
Oh,
just a
okay.
shell, so they could use it for that. And the cartridge slot was memory cartridges, so they bought that. And later, a game guy bought the shell and decided, well, that's the hard part. I have the shell. I can make a video game system. And then it was like 3 years of them clearly never getting anywhere, and it just getting cartoonishly funny. Like,
You know, if the Jaguar had stuck around, they would have come out with a translucent
no, they
one
did.
because it was right
No.
about. Oh, they
See,
did. Okay.
when he first
Okay.
bought the molds to raise money, he started printing new Jaguar shells in color so people could buy them
Oh.
for their Jaguars, but like using the
Oh.
real molds and everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So there are fully official, not official from Atari, but official from the real molds and legally
Yeah.
purchased and
Yeah.
everything of every
Yeah.
fucking color under the sun. And like at one point they licensed the Coleco name that was going to be there. It was
Given how
psychotic.
many people actually owned a Jaguar, they could have every single Jaguar owner could have a different
Yes.
color.
Yeah. So we haven't talked about that much and won't probably talk about it ever again because it was completely destroyed long before we would have ever talked about it. And any comments on the Evercade? It seems nice. I mean, it's out, it exists. They're on their second piece of hardware. It's affordable enough. If I did not have such a large collection of retro crap already, I've thought about getting it.
So yeah, so one of those where we don't really comment on because it's fine, and one of those we don't
Yeah.
really comment on because they did the right thing and gave up.
No, they didn't give up. It just imploded. Like it was not a.
Or
It
that
was.
that's okay too.
Yeah.
The
It is
point is,
what
it's not it's
it
it's
was.
out of its misery.
It was 100% not gave up. It imploded, and there was no choice in the matter. Like after they did the toy show where everyone was convinced it was a Super Nintendo, the way of proving it wasn't was to show off a clear shell with a board in it where they had to have gone. The shell's not completely clear. They won't know it's not really a video game system. And within 10 fucking minutes, people had figured out the exact fucking model of what it was.
Buried under cement in New Mexico in proud Atari tradition.
Yes, exactly. Although Atari's new thing came out, even if it looks fucking horrible. So, move on from that. And, okay, that guy wants to know, how do you think the dim cards will be explained in the context of Ghost Game? Even if Drachman got the watch, he wouldn't be able to realize since he didn't have a dim. I don't think there's any
I'm not.
relevance.
They're not going to explain it well, is how they're going to
No,
explain it.
it's like, oh, Drachman wouldn't have had a dim card.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the dim cards were empty, weren't they?
Yeah.
I I
You just
try not to think about all of the logistics of that because it's not consistent and it's not going to be.
And then Ruby Rose asks the question, do you think we'll get an Agumon crossover episode in Ghost Game like Apple Monsters? So here's the thing. Next year's an anniversary year for the franchise.
why the fuck not?
The answer may very well be yes.
I mean, every year's an anniversary year for the
No, I mean
franchise in some
no, I mean
capacity.
no, I mean the actual anniversary of the franchise.
Then
Which
maybe they should give Tyrannomon some frickin' love.
hey, he was in that one episode and it was embarrassing for him. He got overshown by that fucking fetus whose name I can't say.
The
Yeah.
Tamadakachimon.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Tamadakachimon.
He got his episode and he dealt with the big head version of himself.
I don't know. I do feel like there was an element of Agumon kind of trying to legitimize Appmon, or Agumon trying to legitimize Appmon a little bit in that episode. I don't think Ghost Game needs that. I'm not saying an Agumon won't appear in some capacity because Agumon loves to randomly appear in freaking everything. I don't
I mean,
think Ghost
technically,
Game
he
needs it.
already appeared in the museum.
Hard. I think Ghost Game's
Did
gonna
we know
have.
if that was an official Easter egg or just sort of a random animation quirk?
It could be either. I
I
think
couldn't tell if that was they did
I
that
think Ghost
intentionally.
Game's gonna have a problem as we go on for one reason. Is it's gonna have the same problem that Cyber Sleuth and Tamers have. Fans claim it is far beyond what it actually is. So you get people who will show up to watch it and it's not what they were promised and then they're done.
I think it's
It's
too early to
basically
say that.
Scooby-Doo.
Like, you never
Oh
know.
no, I'm talking
You
about
don't.
the people who are like every episode is the greatest Digimon episode
Well,
ever.
no,
It's
no.
perfect. Like there are people there are people who are like, "Oh, episode 5 is the best Digimon episode of all time. It's perfect. There's
Oh,
nothing wrong with it."
good God.
Like the
What
videos
I
where
mean,
it's like,
if they
this
got
isn't for children. It's just like, sure.
the thing is, if they get into, if they get to the point of like even tamers, those people will be satisfied.
No, that's why Tamers can never is able to take off. When people talk about Tamers, they talk about a show that doesn't really exist in most cases.
Yeah, but it's people will, people will be those kinds of people who imagine that sort of thing will be if Ghost Game got into tamers level of whatever you want to call
No,
it.
no, no. I'm saying it will have the same ish. It may end up having the same issues something like Tamers or Cyber Sleuth have, where Cyber Sleuth is pumped up so much that if someone goes, "I'm gonna go try Cyber Sleuth," people talk about it being the greatest fucking RPG of all time. They talk about how great it is compared to Pokemon, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
you're
go play.
talking about just like level of quality? I thought you were
Yes.
talking about, the
No, no, no.
alleged
I'm not
goodness.
comparing it to Tamers. I'm not comparing it to Tamers at all. I'm saying it may end up with the same issue Tamers and Cyber Sleuth has as to why those have never really been able to amp up the way fans think they might be able to. Because what is promised walking into it does not end up being what it is. Like if someone hears,
I
"Oh,
mean,
they're
it
well,
depends on what they're promising.
well, that's what I mean.
Like
Like when people,
if they're promising something that's actually dark, it's not going to do that.
but
If they're
that's what I
promising
mean.
something that's going to be
Oh
entertaining,
no,
then
absolutely.
yeah, fine.
But that's not what people are promising. Look at how many
I don't
people are
know
like
what
look at how many people every week talk about Ghost Game being dark. The preview shows blood dripping from the ceiling. Oh my Digimon look murderous. It's walking around with a knife. It's going to stab someone in the it's like that's
I
it's
think you
all
need to stop giving credence to the most irritating of fans.
Oh no, I'm saying that is why people will show up to stuff and then walk away. There's a reason why Cyber Sleuth did well, and then as far as we can tell, they won't even tell us how Hacker's Memory did. Because everyone who went and checked out Cyber Sleuth walked away from it, is what I'm saying. And I think Ghost
Mm,
Game deserves better than that, frankly. Frankly, Cyber Sleuth deserves better than it. I don't even think it's a great game. I mean,
I
look
don't
at the way
know.
people look at. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, Hacker's Memory is arguably darker than Cyber
No,
Sleuth.
it's better than Cyber Sleuth. I'm saying
Yeah,
that
I
people
think
who
the
showed
story
up.
in Hacker's Memory is more compact and overall a
No,
little
absolutely.
tighter and
But I'm saying
than
if
Cyber
someone
Sleuth.
showed up for Cyber Sleuth being told it's one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, blah blah blah,
They're
Oh
gonna be
and
God,
then
no.
they
disappointed.
play it, they're
Yeah.
not gonna
No,
walk
they
to
have
Hacker's
the
Memory.
stories. Well, yeah, the stories, they have good stories. The gameplay is very, very mediocre.
Yes. It the honest example of this is the way people talk about Survive when we know very little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, then Chimera Gui wants to know: have we ever thought of partner Digimon for characters from a different series?
You need to specify that a little bit more.
They're saying, have you thought of
I
a
mean,
partner Digimon for a character not from Digimon? Like a character from
No.
random
like
show
puzzle.
X.
Okay, no.
I'm sure it's
People
come to
on
mind at
Tumblr
some.
do that.
I do
Um,
that
Yeah,
often
I
with
mean,
like D&D stuff where we like, hey, we're just like in our D&D chat, just like, hey, what Digimon would your character have?
yeah, I don't do that.
yeah,
How dare you?
I'm pretty sure it's come to mind at some point, but it's not something I actively do or would remember.
Yeah. That's this kind of it's a very Tumblr
Yeah.
thing for people to do.
And then last chance for you guys in the chat to throw anything up. And the last one that was sent in, someone wants to know, what are your preferred movie treats?
thing is like movie as like at a
Oh,
theater
yeah,
or just like
like
at home?
That's what I
yeah,
assumed they meant because it's like if you're sitting there watching a movie at home, it's kind of just whatever you get.
what do you have?
It sounds like at least it came to me as movie theater, but that
Yeah,
that that is
which
word
is
for word. That is word for word what was sent to the Curious
yeah,
Cat.
because if it's at a movie theater, it's kind of irrelevant because I haven't been to a movie in 3 years.
Well, then like if I'm at a theater, usually like I'm not paying out the ass for like shitty candy. So.
No, I do, but I've been gravitating. I guess I've when I went to movies, I've lately been gravitating a little more back into popcorn. I used to get like Mike and Ike's or something, and no, I've
I mean,
been typically just
I
going
love
popcorn and a
popcorn, but I
soda.
can't eat it. My
The
teeth hurt
hulls
me.
get stuck or
I've
something.
Yeah, and then like my
yeah.
gums bleed horribly,
Oh
and
man. Oh,
Oh
also I
yeah.
can't have the
you
fake butter they have there. I have some sort of allergy to it. I will evict my entire life force for days. I just like puke endlessly.
after the show, I'm gonna show you popcorn you'll be able to eat, and you'll flip out. Um, Yeah, for me, I guess it's popcorn. I mean, even if I'm at a theater that does like, oh, you can get like an actual meal, I'll do that. And I'll still fucking get popcorn.
I've never done that, and I don't know if I'd ever want to, because they feel like separate
It's actually pretty
experiences.
nice.
Um,
I've heard
I,
it's
I,
all
I
I've heard it's all right.
it's fine. It's one of those things like there's been a few times I've gotten actual meals, but it tends to be where you kind of go, yeah, I'm not sure how much I have to do this. There's been times where it's like an older film that I've seen, and tickets were $5, and the place also had all you can eat pizza delivered to your seat.
Oh,
That
that sounds
did
reasonable.
that a few times,
I
and it
just
was
don't
like,
wanna be I just don't wanna have to worry about trying to eat a meal in the dark while focusing on a movie. That doesn't sound like that's kind of multitasking I don't need in my movie-going experience.
There's like little lights along.
yeah,
At least we have like a little countertop, so it's kind of like almost like little cafeteria lights.
yeah,
So they're not
Oh,
annoying enough to like disrupt the movie, but you can definitely see your
yeah,
food.
yeah, okay.
yeah. But
Still,
even when I've done
you're
that,
doing 2 things at once.
I mean, you do two things at once, anyways. You have to decide if you're going to get in a fight with the person who keeps texting during the movie. Like
I've never had that
if
ex I've been fortunate in that I've never had that experience where somebody's, like, has their phone out during a movie.
oh, I
Usually, it's small children
You live
completely
in
having a
no,
meltdown and
no,
their
no,
California.
no,
parents like
no.
not doing shit
Here's the
about it.
thing. It's not. It's never small children. It's always grown fucking adults.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's always
It's
grown-ups.
here's the thing. Children, they'll get upset and they'll cry for 5 seconds and then they'll stop because they're at a movie. They have a drink. They have popcorn. They go, oh, I have better shit to do. An adult
Yeah.
doesn't fucking remember that they paid God knows what to be there and decides they have to try to multitask. But yeah.
Again, that might be more a California thing because we don't everyone's generally pretty good. Like, talking sometimes is an issue, but not everyone keeps their phones in their
I mean that's the
pockets.
same thing though. In
Well, it's sometimes and sometimes people are obnoxious about
I
that,
mean
but
that one theater chain that
it's at
was
least putting them to the movie
The
at least.
Alamo Draft House was famous for um putting voicemails of people complaining who got thrown out for doing it.
And that's Texas, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely an issue. But yeah. And
Never thought
then
this would stray into we're well behaved in the Midwest, but here we are.
let's see. Then last up, Ruby wants to know, do you think we'll see a Tekken character again in a Digimon game?
Oddly,
probably.
I do.
Yeah,
I
because
actually do.
Bandai like cameo shit. Like, I'm more surprised that we haven't seen Pac-Man yet.
Pacmon.
There was a lot of Tekken cross promotion in Cyber Sleuth. So, yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
Just have a random Tekken character show up and survive. That's your have him be in an SRPG fight.
It'll be Kazuya, and he'll throw someone off a cliff.
You can put Kazuya as the bad guy in an SRPG fight. I want to see that.
Oh, fuck.
What level do you have to evolve your Digimon to beat him?
5. AR,
War Greymon versus Kazuya fight.
no, need to have Gon, who cameoed in Tekken 3, who looks borderline like Agumon.
Oh
AR,
my god, that'd be great.
AR, what have you done the last week, and do you have anything coming up?
I took my kid mini golfing yesterday is what I did.
Oh, fun. How was that?
It's good. There's actually really fun mini golf course in Madison. It has like a little mini zip line for kids. It's great. In the middle of
Ooh.
the hole. Yeah, I'm at Twitter. I'm at First Agent ARP. I will hopefully remember to do something on Tumblr this week. It is firstagent.tumblr.com.
And AR, how do you feel about a new TV show being made about your area of the world?
So you have to be more specific.
That 90s show.
Oh, they're doing that 90s show.
Starring Red
I'm
and
kind
Kitty.
of interested. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Their
I'd be kind of interested in-
grandkid visits for the summer.
I'd be kind of interested in seeing that, but we also know how that 80s show panned out, so good
Do
luck with
we?
that.
No, we don't know how it panned out. We killed it after like 2 episodes.
Nobody watched it.
Oh god! At least this time they're being clever enough to not start 2 years before the end of the decade. I think they
And
said
to be honest, 80s nostalgia is kind of played out,
no
and
90s.
you look at 80s nostalgia and it's kind of regrettable. I think there's still an untapped potential for 90s
90s.
nostalgia.
Now here's the honest question: do you think Through the Eyes of Red and Kitty are the way to do that, though? As much as I want to see it, and I'm perfectly happy.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they kind of worked well in the 70s because they were that sort of the era
Yeah, they were.
growing past them.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the 90s, it's already past them, and like they're not expected to be with it at all.
Yeah.
And
The
the
funny part
90s,
is,
I don't know how objectionable the 90s aesthetic was to grandparents. I mean, I guess the grunge era is gonna hit them hard,
the
but
best part is
why would they be exposed to that?
the best part is we already know what Eric and Donna's daughter is going to be named. I saw the name and I just fucking started laughing because it fit the show perfectly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Leia.
Okay.
Because he was
Okay.
fucking obsessed with Star Wars and named his kid Leia.
Yes.
That sounds like something that character would do terribly. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like everyone to read?
Digimon Dreamers, because that's what I'm working on at the moment. I don't know what's actually on that fucking page, but why not?
We will catch you guys next time. Thanks everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.